Hey, welcome back everybody to Zamek Dragway. Tonight we're just gonna do some random stuff. Haven't done a video in a little while, so I'm gonna start out by saying big thank you, big shout out to Victor Fastlane. These two cars participated in his NASCAR Any Generations race back in August, September, and I know he's gone through quite a bit, I'm sure, with that hurricane that went through North Carolina. It's taken him a while to get these back. Don't have a problem with that at all. The fact that he even had a chance to send them back makes me happy. And one of the reasons is right there, third place trophy. My second ever open course race, and I managed to pull off a third with this car right here. Doesn't look that pretty, but turned out to be pretty fast. My first open course track was at Rick's Comet Tail. Didn't fare so well there, but I learned some valuable lessons, applied them to these cars, and did pretty well. This one, Terry Labonte, Spooky Fruit Loops, Monte Carlo, made it to the second round and then went out. This one made it all the way to third. I lost to Arlo, who ended up winning. In fact, he finished first and second, so lost to the winning car. So I'm pretty happy with that. I can't complain, and got a nice little trophy for it, for my first ever podium for Redline Racing. So it's pretty cool. Had a lot of fun with that. Another car I recently got back was this one from Hot Nuts Diecast. It was '67 Camaro Cavalcade. Another car that I did pretty well with. I'm pretty happy with it. Once again, I went out to Arlo. I think I qualified 12th out of like 43 cars. Made it a couple rounds and then lost to Arlo by a mere 1,000th of a second. So I'm getting better. Look out, you guys. I'm coming. I'm studying. I'm learning. So it's a lot of fun. But what I'm going to do now is show you how I collect data. I like getting my cars back, because what we'll do now just for fun is, I know these are built for open road course, but I'm going to go ahead and run them down the track and let's see how they do. Kind of curious to see how these are speed-wise now compared to some of the cars I've been putting out recently, since these have been gone for a couple of months and I've been learning new things along the way. So let's run these a little bit and see how they are, and then we'll race them against something else. Maybe we'll run them against the case to see how they did. So there we got a 2-141 to a 2-116. Another little something different I'm doing is I borrowed my wife's iPhone 13 while she's sleeping. All my poor quality videos that I usually put out are done with an iPhone 8. That's pretty old and not very technologically advanced compared to the newer ones. So all right, let's switch lanes, see what happens here. I think I switched lanes. I guess I didn't pay that close attention, but here we go. Yep, there we go. So it's 2-1-2-2 to a 2-1-4-3. So these are okay. They'll make the case, but speed-wise, I don't think they're up to where they should be. So speaking of random things, here's some test mules for some of the upcoming races. Those of you guys that are signed up will recognize we got a Pro Stock, some Dioras, a GT40, a couple Lamborghinis. So if you're building, you know what races those are for. There's some more too that are work in progress right now. Let's take this, reset my gate. Let's take this one. Recently returned. We know it did well. Let's line it up against this one. See how much I improved. I'm guessing the Camaro should be faster. There we go. All right, 2.088. That's a good time. 2.113. Since I reconfigured my track, I've yet to hit a 1 point anything, so But that 2.0, I've gotten a little faster, so I don't think this one will quite get to the top of my case, but let's switch lanes, try it again. Reset. Oops, we don't want spooky Fruit Loops. I'm gonna go back and grab this one. It's the faster of the two NASCAR any generation cars. So swap lanes. See how they go. Oh, and by the way, thanks for that. That's cool. Appreciate that. And the gift card. .088, very consistent. 2.115. All right, I'm gonna go dig out the case and we'll be back and try racing against the case. Okay, so I've recently done some recalibration because I redid my track, and I used to have a top 16 and then a case of 32, which were the next 32 fastest. I've now gone to an A case of 32 cars, my fastest cars, and a B case, the next fastest 32 cars. So this is the A case here, and actually that Camaro, since it came home, I did run it against the case, and it actually sits in second place right there. The amazing part is this little sidekick right here, bone stock, undusted, no graphite in it. It's sitting at number 1 in my case. It can actually, well, we don't want to do that. Let's do a run. Show you what I mean. This thing is fast. Ready, go. Oh, maybe not so fast. Maybe those warm-ups helped. 2084 to 2094. All right, so bear in mind that right lane has been running a little faster this last week, and I think it might be due to some of this happening. And see that gap? That used to be tight. It's now been getting cold the last 2 weeks. It's been cold here, and the furnace has been running, and I think this masonite has been shrinking. Look at that gap opening up. So maybe affecting the track a little bit. Right lane's running about 10 to 14 thousandths faster than the left, so this race could be pretty close. Let's find out if that sidekick can win it. There it is. 2086 to a 2098. So not only is the difference better, but the time was better too. So sometimes I just go by the difference. 5 thousandths beat, or 10 thousandths beat, the 10 thousandth will win it. So let's grab this guy and just see where he would fall in this case. We know it wasn't that fast, so we're gonna jump right down a little bit. Sorry, this one-handed. I got the remote in one hand and phone in the other. So let's give the old twang thing a shot against the NASCAR. Oops, wrong button. I turned you off by mistake. Here we go. Oh, twang thing was out in front. Did he hold? Yes, he did. 118 to a 123. Lanes are swapped. The twang thing coming at you in the left lane and the NASCAR in the right. There he goes. 122 to a 134. So now I got to remember what those times were. I'm going to shut it off, go back, look at the previous time, and tell you who's moving on. Okay, in the first race, the twang thing was in the right lane. Times were 118 to a 123, so that's only a 5 thousandths beat. This time when we swapped lanes, 122 is slower than 118, but the beat was much bigger. It's by 12. So I'm going to run them one more time in each lane, and let's see what happens. Twang thing in the right. Twang thing takes it. 103 to a 125. Picking up speed. Warming up a little bit. So there's a 22 thousandths beat. Lanes are swapped. 103 or a 22 thousandths or greater beat for the NASCAR in the right. Not gonna happen. Playing Thing says this is my track. He's gonna hold his spot. All right, so we're gonna go jump in the middle of the case here. Let's bring out this beautiful Ferrari. Another stock, undusted, very fast car. Oh, hang on 1 second. You gotta reset the gate. There we go. We'll let the old Taurus have the right lane first. Let that Ferrari take the slow lane to start with. Sorry, shut you off again. Ready, go. Ferrari says, not today. 114 to a 123. 114 or a greater than 9 thousandths beat for that Taurus in the left lane. $122 to 129. 7 thousandths. That isn't quite good enough. I'm going to say that Ferrari's going to hold his spot. All right, so the Ferrari went back. I'm going to jump down to here. This car was went to my very first mail-in race. I sent it to Freedom Diecast Racing, where I won the first round and lost the second round. So let's see how that one can do. It wasn't bad. I mean, it ran pretty good, but I ran against the buzzsaw. Clay 131 sent some super wicked fast Matchbox. And so did Steve from Chase Family Racing. So yeah, not quite there. 117 to a 128. So we're going to swap lanes, and it's got 117 or an 11 thousandths beat, whichever comes first. All right, sorry about that. I was having a brain fart as to which one is in which lane. So got them all set, and here we go. Lanes are swapped. Buick Wildcat says, I'm going to lose. So he lost both. So that's an easy win for Mr. Ford Taurus. Let's see what else we got. So we know he's better than this. It's lower than that. You ever see a dog fighter go? These are fun, except for it's a little tricky on the gate. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go get my starting button. I'll show you why in a second. So what happens if I don't click this and hold it down a little bit, it doesn't necessarily always go all the way up. So watch what happens here when I push the button. Now it's up higher. The center of that prop, I need this gate up at full height. Otherwise it kind of slides over the top. So, you know, depending on what kind of starting gate you guys have, if you ever wonder why your times vary a little bit, this is one reason right there. If that gate's down just a little lower from one start than it is from the next, you're going to get, you know, a couple thousandths more or less depending on where the gate is. So you wonder why your cars don't run super consistent to 1 or 2 thousandths. That's one of the reasons why. So, all right, here we go. Watch this dog fighter. Fast. Not super fast, but he had him. Taurus went around him on the big end. 121 to 123. Lane swap. Too many things in one hand here. All right, pop it up one more time. There we go. And they're off. There again, Dogfighter was out front, but he just slowed down, so easy win for the Taurus. So with the Dogfighter sitting here, we now know we lost the Ferrari. We're going to end up somewhere right in here. So let's just go right to this car. Oh, that's another one that, this is one of the ones I had talked about earlier. Sent that one to Rick's Comet Tail for Custom Carnage 4, I think it was, or 3, one of those. It did okay. I mean, it was more bad luck than bad car. You know how it is, sometimes you get jammed up by other cars and there's nothing you can do about it no matter how fast you are. That's kind of what happened with this one. My other car did not run as good, but this one also liked to jump the track a couple times down near the bottom for some reason. So, but it's pretty good on a drag strip. It's a fast car. 210 to 126 by 16 thousandths. Oh, sorry about that. All right, so lanes are swapped. Here we go. Porsche coming at you in the left. Asserts his dominance again. 117 to a 122. So we know that you are now going to land somewhere right about there. Got the final race coming up right now. Let's see where he lands in the case. All right, we'll give him the fast lane first, just to be nice. By the way, there's some more pro stocks that I was testing. Not going to tell you which one's running, but I'm building pretty soon. Here we go. Oh, all right. Taurus says, I'm going to take this one. 123 to a 140. Oh, that one didn't run so good. That's not worthy of his position in the case. Maybe it was just a bad run. We'll swap lanes, see what happens. Give him the fast lane. $123 to 140. 17 to beat. Or a 123. 122 by 13. Ooh. So they are actually fairly close if you add the lane differential in there. So let's run them one more time, just for fun. Tectone's Speed Seeker coming at you in the left, and the Taurus in the right. Taurus says, I'm going to take this one. About very consistent, 122 to a 134. It's 12,000 speed. It was 13 last time, so we'll swap lanes again. 122 or 12,000 speed for that Speed Seeker, otherwise known as a Mantis. Taurus says, no, I'm just gonna flat out win this one. He won them both, so he's moving on. He's gonna take that spot. So, speaking of random things tonight, you guys ever see these? I know it's not going to come out as good as on camera as it does to the naked eye, but these Tectones were actually pretty cool. That was a series from back in, I think it was the late 90s, 98, 99, somewhere in there, and each one had a little different color. That this Buick Wildcat that I ran before was also a Tectones. So apparently they happen to not only have a wickedly cool paint job, of which every one is unique. The splatter, these are literally like splatter painted, so every one is unique. Not the colors, but the splatter pattern, you know. So if you buy one of these Buick Wildcats, it'll be in green, but it won't be exactly the same as this one because the splatter paint is random. Kind of cool. I have the other two that were part of that series. It was a 4-car series, so I don't think they've made my case, but these two did. They were both very fast. So, all right, see what we do next. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so we know the Spooky Fruit Loops was not nearly as fast as the Taurus, but I think it might be fast enough to maybe have a chance at the top 32. So this is currently number 32, so let's race these two and see what happens. See if he's worthy of the top 32 case or if he's going to drop down to the B case. Any bets? Those Baja bugs can be fast. Here we go. Ha. Nothing for it. 122 to a 147. I'm sorry, 124 to a 147. I'll run him once again just to give him the fast lane, but I don't see anything happening there. He's dropping in the B case for sure. Actually, 147 might not even get him in the B case. He's gonna have to go faster than that. You add 14 thousandths for the slow lane, he should come in at maybe about a 233. Let's find out. Nope. I don't think he's even gonna make the B case at this rate. 136 to 167. All right, so here is your B case. Hang on 1 second. I'll make an adjustment to the camera. There we go. So here's your B case. Fastest to slowest. This guy just got booted out of the A case, and I do happen to have an opening here because the car that was there got pulled out. It's in the shop heading to one of the mail-in races, so let's just see how this guy can do. We know he earned that spot. These were both recalibrated, so I don't have to race him, but what I am going to do is take this guy, start way at the bottom, because he is not running that fast. Let's see if he can even get past the gatekeeper. So out of the hundreds and hundreds of cars out of my collection out of racing, these are basically my top 64, not counting some modified for racing that haven't got put back in the case. So most of these are bone stock, most of them not unworked, undusted, etc. So there you go, 48 to 58, 10,000 speed. Let's go reset it. See if you can still beat him in the slow lane. So you got that Avusa Quattro, however you say it, in the right, and Spooky Fruit Loops in the left. Spooky says, all mine. Another 10,000 speed, 11,000. So he is officially gone from the case. So let's just jump up here to this FTE Corvette. Grab my remote. Stuff up here quick. You're still with me? Glad you're still here. It's not the way I usually film this, but I want to do this one a little more organically, so I'm not cutting out a lot and stitching it together. Here we go. Faster than an FTE by 4 thousandths in the right. It's going to be tough to hold when he goes in the left, though. This Corvette can be fast at times. Get a couple warm-up laps on him, and he wakes up pretty quick. All right, here we go. Wrong button. Yes, he did. 145 to 162. All right, so we're not that fast. You can go back there. Let's jump down to the shoebox here. This is a fun one to run too. Just recently got into my B case. This is unworked. I think if I ever work it, this one has some potential. I ran it in a different race that I videoed and didn't put on YouTube. It was for a group of guys that I drag race with, but here we go. Spooky says, I'll take that one by some unknown 10 thousandths, as they like to say. But yeah, back to the shoebox. That's a very recent blister pop. It's been in my collection, carded for a number of years, but I decided to pop it out of the blister and throw it on the track, and I'm not disappointed. Shoebox says I'm gonna come back and take that one by, oh, tied again. Back-to-back ties. One win for each. All right, let's swap them and do it again. Oh, that one, clearly the Monte Carlo was in the lead, and I don't know why he slowed down, but that shoebox went right around him. Took him by 10 thousandths this time, not an unknown 10 thousandths, but 10,000. Look at how far back he rolled, and that's undusted, man. He rolled all the way back from there. Pretty impressive. Lanes are swapped. Monte Carlo is going to have to win by 10 or more. Tough mission. I don't think he can do it. He did win, but only 3 thousandths, so I'm going to say he's slower than the shoebox. All right, so the shoebox goes back in here. Let's jump down to this one. Pagani Huayra. See how it does. Spooky versus Pagani. Give her a shot. I gotta run all the way down here for my remote. I need to get a necklace for this there neck cord. Ready? Go. $169 to $170, another really close race. Lanes are swapped. Spooky needs to win by 1 thousandth. He's not going to win at all because the Pagani got in the fast lane, so looks like you are probably going to be battling for gatekeeper. Matter of fact, not probably, but you are. So if we know he makes the case, but it looks like he's only going to make it as number 32 gatekeeper or number 31. How do you like that beautiful Trans Am? Is that awesome for a mainline or what? Man, love that thing. Fired Chicken says, I'm gonna eat you and spit you out for breakfast. Wow, that's a nice time too. You should be a lot higher in the case if you can run like that all the time. My guess is he's not consistent, or he would be further up in the case. That's another one that was a fresh blister pop that ran in one Decide Your Ride race and then went right into the case. That's as far as he got. So makes it a no doubter. 144 to 170. This thing slowed down all of a sudden, so I guess the graphite is just plain getting worn out or something. All right, so for now, I'm just gonna do one more. Need to cut this short. It's been getting way too long, but watching how that thing is slowing down, I'm gonna give him one more, give the gatekeeper one more chance to keep his spot before he loses it to a car that's slowing down. $54 to 62. So remember that, 154 to 162. 8,000 speed is what it's going to take to make the case as a gatekeeper. Otherwise, the old gatekeeper is going to stay in there. And they're off. $180 to a 184. So he did win, but he needed to win by 8 thousandths. He only won by 4 thousandths. I think I'm just going to add you into the parts box. I got to tear them apart for analysis anyways. Post-race analysis to see what I can do to improve so I can win more of those. So, all right, once again, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you stuck around to the end. It was fun. At least it was fun for me. I hope it didn't bore you too bad. So see you next time.